Shalom, beloved channel, Priest Daniel with you here again. And I'm presenting myself to you today because I want to speak about a topic that's very common in the evangelical churches nowadays. It's very popular to speak about money in the churches. You will hear pastors say, if you give, what you give you will receive. What you sow, you reap. They will use Bible verses to convince you to donate money or pay the tithe, 10% of what you have of your money, your salary, your monthly salary. They will convince you to pay 10% to the church by using Bible verses. They will convince you saying, what you sow, you reap. They say God will bless you if you give money. And they speak a lot about money. They put emphasis. I don't know if you've noticed when you go to the church that they put a lot of emphasis to money. They're always asking for money, the pastors or the ministry in the church. So this topic is about the prosperity gospel. The prosperity gospel. They preach, this pastor, that Jesus came to this earth so that we might be rich, so we might have big careers. And they pray, they take your credit card and then they pray in the name of Jesus, money in the bank. A lot of prosperity. But I would like to tell you right now that the prosperity gospel it's not from Yahweh. Why? We're going to read Matthew chapter 10 from verse 8. The context is this. Yeshua, the Messiah, is sending his disciples, his 12 disciples, 2 and 2, to heal the sick, raise the dead, and to preach about the kingdom of heavens that is coming. The awaiting, the longing kingdom of heaven that is about to be manifested here on earth very soon. Okay, but I'm going to read Matthew 10 from verse 8. Yeshua is saying, heal the sick, raise the dead, cleanse those who have leprosy, drive out demons. Listen to this. Freely you have received, freely give. Freely you have received, freely give. Do not get any gold or silver or copper to take with you in your belts. No bag for the journey, or extra shirt, or sandals, or a staff, for the worker is worth his keep. Okay. I would like to put emphasis. We're going to start with verse 8. Heal the sick, raise the dead, cleanse those who have leprosy, drive out demons. Freely you have received, freely give. So, if these pastors freely have received from God, as they say, why do they ask for money for their ministry? Why do they command from the members of the church to pay tithe, to make offerings? Why do they command this? Because they freely have received. Here Yeshua is saying, freely you have received, freely give. Yeshua was humble. He didn't ask for money when he did miracles. Oh, you need to pay me $10 because I cleansed you from leprosy. You were paralyzed and now you can walk. $20. Oh, I have saved you from your sins. $100. Please, beloved people, the love of Yahweh we are received it by grace. It's free. This pastor doesn't have the right to ask for money from their members. Yeshua was humble. The disciples were humble. They didn't have fancy clothes. They didn't have modern cars or anything. I know that there wasn't cars in that context, but I'm just modernizing. They didn't have mansions or cars. Why do these pastors have these fancy houses and fancy cars? The disciples were humbles. Yeshua said, do not get any gold or silver or copper to take with you in your belts. No bag for the journey or extra shirt or sandals or a staff. Very simple. No fancy cars. No fancy bank account. No fancy house. Humbleness. simpleness. Here we can see that Yeshua nor the disciple were living a life in prosperity. Matthew was a tax collector. He was rich, but he renounced everything. When Yeshua called him, he renounced everything. He said, I don't care about the money anymore. I just want to follow you. And he ended up being a simple and humble man. Yeshua, he was simple and humble. He didn't go around asking for money, because he was giving freely what he had received from his Father, because he received it from his Father for free. And when this pastor comes and tells you, what you sow you will reap, it's not speaking about money, it's speaking about deeds. It's speaking, if you are mistreating, for example, your wife, it will be consequences. You will sow what you reap. If you rob your brother, you will sow what you reap. That is what speaking about deeds, about works, not about money. Yeshua didn't come to preach about money nor prosperity. He said that he who follows me will have to fight, will have to suffer. It's not easy to be a follower of Yeshua. It's not an easy path. So, when he says what you sow, you reap, he's speaking about deeds, works. On contrary, if you treat well your wife, if you take care of her, you love her, you respect her, what you sow, you will reap. You will reap blessings. If when your brother are sick, you visit him, you take care of him, what you sow, you will reap. That is, beloved people, don't fall into these traps. Yeshua came here to teach us how to love, not about prosperity. That's not the message of the Gospels, of the good news. Yeshua came here to bring the message of salvation, of love, not about money and well-being. We need to stop being so material. It's not fair that these people, these pastors are asking for money, and also the members who only goes to their God, who comes before him just to ask for money or blessing in their career, or that God bless my bank account, God bless my career. No, we should look for Yahweh, we should seek him out of love, not for money. And these pastors also, they rob and lie. They say, donate money because we will give to the poor in India or in Pakistan or in the war of Ukraine, and then they rob it and take it. And I've heard a testimony. There was once, I was going to a church back in the while, and there was one who was, he knew the leaders because he was working with them. He told me that they were lying. They were lying. Why do you think that these pastors are so rich? And it's not fair that the pastors are living such a great life with their houses and their car. Great life, I say. With cars and house and everything and good clothes, as well. The members are lacking finances. Why do they not use the money to donate to the members? A true pastor serves his members financially, physically, emotionally. He's serving, taking care of them, not vice versa. Not that the members should take care of the pastor. It's the pastor who should take care of the members. And it's so ugly to see how the pastors is using a false doctrine as hell. So if you don't follow these commandments, you might end up in hell. And they use guilt, like you're a sinner, you have a cruel heart, you're not donating. I mean, it's so perverse. We need to wake up, beloved people, and say no to these things. We need to seek Yahweh with a pure heart, not for money, but out of love. This is the message for today. Shalom, beloved people.